Hello and welcome to Big Red Journeys. I'm your host Big Red, and on today's journey we're here at Balboa Park because we're going to check out the San Diego Natural History Museum. So let's go. Let's go on in. Well, look at this, greeted with a skeleton of a Cuvier's beaked whale right above us. A slice of a petrified giant sequoia. But my favorite of the main entrance area for when I used to work here is right here, the Foucault pendulum, a device that actually proves the Earth's rotation. So it's on a wire all the way up there that goes in the same plane back and forth at the beginning of the day. And the dominoes get knocked down about every 15 to 20 minutes, give or take. Sometimes half an hour, depends on how they're spaced out. But even though it looks like the pendulum's rotating, it's not. We're the ones rotating. What's a natural history museum without some dinosaurs? And here is an Albertosaurus, so called because of the province of Alberta in Canada. He's trying to make a meal out of this hadrosaur. This one in particular is a lambosaur, part of the hadrosaur family, which of course is most commonly referred to as the duck-billed kind. So this particular exhibit is called Fossil Mysteries. This has been a permanent exhibit here from when I was working. And this is going to be the dinosaur section of it. But it's going to talk about the dinosaurs. It's going to talk about the KT event, which is the mass extinction, and then going into some of the world of about a few million years ago. But Natural History Museum, a little bit note here. It talks about obviously the whole natural world, but the majority of it's going to be based upon the California Southwest area. It really stresses the message of the local aspects of natural history. So a lot of the exhibits are going to have, localized, specific animals, mammals, flora, fauna that you would see just really in this region from long time ago or current day. So just keep that in mind. Ooh, a fossilized hindquarters. This is of a ankylosaur. Look at that. You can even see there's a shark tooth that got embedded into it right here. There's some sort of ammonite, some sort of shell, mollusk. Lots of various, you can see the crevices where there used to be like mollusks and clams and shells, because this most likely was underneath the waterbed. And fun fact here, San Diego Southwest region, believe it or not, millions upon millions of years ago, was way deep underwater. This land that you see right now, this of course occurred after millions upon millions of years of Earth evolution, with the Pangea and the continent shifting. So a lot of people don't realize that it's like we would be completely underwater. The water line actually went all the way up into like where the Rockies are currently in Colorado. That would have been actually sea level at that regards, just to give you kind of a concept of how deep underwater we would have been. For those who care, the ankylosaur is my favorite dinosaur. I don't know why. I mean, most people would probably think like T-Rex, and don't get me wrong, a T-Rex is a true to my heart. But ankylosaur, I just love, the scales on them, the club tail about them, that they're short and chubby like me, I guess. Close to the ground. I don't know, they represent me as a dinosaur. Got a pteranodon up there with some sort of, looks like a garfish. Yeah, it looks like a gar for sure. Fun fact, technically pteranodons are not dinosaurs, they're winged reptiles. Ammonites, of course, no longer exist, but their modern-day version cousins, the nautilus, currently do. What I like about this particular example right here is you got the mosasaur, and then you can actually see some indentations of teeth mark on the shell of this ammonite. Because, I mean, most likely mosasaurs did predate on ammonites. The KT event, represented by this line right over there, a single thick layer of ash, because when the great extinction occurred, most likely the meteor that hit off the coast of Mexico and caused a great upheaval of life. Look at that, there's a devastation in its way, killing the majority of all creatures at that time. Something about like 90 or 95% of all life was devastated at that moment in time. But through death, nature finds a way, and we have life, and there's some of the earliest examples of mammals that would come out. A lot of the mammals actually were, smaller mammals like this, like shrews, rats, and early ancestors of those. They would be buried deep inside, kind of protected a little bit, and they don't need a lot of food. They reproduce very quickly, very heavily, so they had a higher chance of survival, unlike larger creatures such as like this sort of raptor right here. Its food source would be scarce if not visible, and then they would pass away very quickly. more life showing. Now we have a few million years of evolution occurring, and then you're going to see some creatures here that resemble modern day versions of them. This is the Eocene area, very marshy, jungly area. Oh, there's some sort of like kind of lemur creatures up top there. Oh, you know what? I saw a little thingy here. Let's see. We can play some scavenger hunt. Oh, there you go. Can you find the Eocene animals? So those little lemur creatures are addapids. Addapids right up there. So that looks like it is a creodent, which is an early carnivore. You can see how it looks kind of like a dog and a fox and a cat all mixed together. Oh, and there's the brontosaur. Yep, the brontosaur and her baby right over here. Of course, you could probably see what these guys look like. Just take a look at the skull and bumps right there above the nose. Yes, these are early ancestors to most likely rhinos and or possibly horses. And you can see that very large animal. Definitely would not want to mess with it. A wonderful example here of 3 different animals and how their bones, those shapes differently, are actually the one and the same. How we are very similar in regards to climbers such as this gibbon right here, using the same type of arm muscles, arm bones, to do the same motion of like turning a knob. Hello Megalodon, it's been a while since I've seen you. This is honestly my favorite of all the creatures. Obviously extinct, current generation is going to be the great white shark. And this, actually, believe it or not, this huge megalodon is actually considered a juvenile. It would have been upwards of about 2 to 3 times much larger than this right there. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this megalodon right here is about 20 feet long from snout to tip of tail. So that's crazy. Also, let's just take a moment here to show you. So the Natural History Museum is actually divided up into 4 floors. You're going to have the first floor down there. That's where the cafe is going to be. And you can see some other smaller exhibits as well. On the second floor, which we're currently on, we have Fossil Mysteries over there. We're going to have even more Fossil Mysteries coming up this way, going up to modern day or to the last ice age. Over there on the other side is Unshelved, which is an exhibit that showcases some of the items that have been in storage and collections of the Natural History Museum. So we'll go check that out on the loop. Level 3, you're going to have Skulls. Skulls is it's been around actually since I used to work here, and it showcases, I believe, over like 200 or 300 skulls of every type of animal and creature you can think of. It's a cool exhibit. We'll go around that. And on the 4th floor is mainly the art level, where they usually put photos or art pieces or gallery examples. But yeah, we'll definitely check out the whole place, as well as the first floor also has your theater, which is right over there. A skeleton representation of an early seal-like mammal, but you can see how large that is. That is, whew. Some skulls here. This is the extinct seal-like mammal, which of course that one is based off of. We got some teeth of a megalodon and some sort of amphibious mammal molar. So this one, they believe, was kind of like a hippo with a sea cow mixture type of thing. So obviously an early ancestor potentially of those guys. A very large and older extinct style of walrus. You can see, look at those huge tusks. Wow. And we have a gray whale skeleton up here. And this one right here, some sort of extinct gray whale subspecies. Now, this one has a very special place in my heart, because I actually saw this guy back when he was still casted in the plaster when they first received him. There's actually a fun story about this one. So this one was actually discovered at the San Diego Zoo right up the street here in Balboa Park. When they were doing excavation, they were doing some sort of like water reservoir for like for sewage and for rain. And you know, when there's when there was water runoff through the zoo, it would be collected there. So what they were doing is that they were leveling out the area, and they came across some bones. Of course, they said, hey, we got to call the museum because we found some fossils here. Check it out. Sure enough, the paleontology team went down to the zoo, was able to uncover this, and realized that this was an extinct subspecies of gray whale that's about 4 or 5 million years old, if I'm not mistaken. So this was pretty cool story. Now heading into the part of the exhibit that's going to talk about the most recent time period where some of these animals still exist, and that's going to be the Ice Age. Here we have a skeleton of a mastodon. Look at those large tusks here. Of course, we still have creatures like this. They're called elephants, both Indian and African, but the mastodon was definitely larger. Fossils of those mastodons here, some of the teeth, the molar, the tusks. And we even had our own Smilodons and North American lions, which were larger than the African lions. And here is the representation of one right there. Look at that large guy right there. That is an American lion about ready to jump on his prey. You can see a Smilodon right there in that painting, protecting its freshly caught prey. And there's some dire wolves trying to catch that same prey. In the front, we have the large dire wolf, and behind it, the Smilodon. You can see the comparison in size. Now, obviously, Smilodons were more singular hunters. Dire wolves were pack hunters like current wolves are nowadays. So a pack of wolves could easily take down a Smilodon, but sometimes it's just easier not to mess with the big boys, right? The hip bone and a skeletal representation of a Harlan's ground sloth, which you would think the sloth is the guy who's sleeping on the trees all the time. No, we had a much larger version right there. Look at that guy. He was upwards of about 9 to 10 feet. Huge, huge, like the size of a grizzly bear, essentially. I forgot to mention on level 3, not only did it have skulls, that's something that's a little bit newer. It's been here for a few years now, but it's newer to me. Is they actually have the library there. It's kind of kid themed, but it's pretty cool because they do have some books in there that are, I think, hundreds, if not maybe even one or two, that's like 1,000 years old. Crazy. So we'll definitely check that as well too. Well, let's check out Unshelved. I just love how they actually literally have shelves in here. It's pretty cool. Got some taxidermied pelicans right here. Ooh, some sort of, what is this, a black bear? It doesn't look very black to me nowadays, but I'm sure it's old. A lot of these specimens are really old. We're talking about upwards of close to 100 years old. And this looks like a sperm whale. Let's see. Yes, it is. It is a sperm whale lower jaw. Of course, these are the type of teeth that sailors and mariners would love to use and use as scrimshaw. Put nice little etchings on there. And of course, the sperm whale, the enemy of the giant squid. Also, the sperm whale was most likely the whale that's Moby Dick in the book. So, let's see here. What are these, owl pellets? No, poop. We got poop. Oh, that is funny. Poop, you know, exhibits about poop are definitely not my favorite, but they are a solid number 2. Large, there's a red king crab right there. That at least fetches $100 at the buffet right there. Oh, here's what we call wet specimens. You can see why they're called wet specimens, because they're literally in some sort of solution of alcohol or formaldehyde to preserve them. We have, look at this, a lizard, eastern diamondback rattlesnake right there, a Sonoran black iguana, water monitor lizard, yellow belly sea snakes, ball python, and we have a cyclops. Well, no, that's not really a cyclops. It's a skull of an Indian elephant, but here's a little trick for you. So the legend, the myth of the Cyclops was because people found the skulls of elephants and they were like, what's this one huge large socket right here? People used to think that that was the eye socket because they're used to seeing skulls with 2 eye sockets, not realizing that the eyes were right here. So they used to think that this belonged to some sort of Cyclops, and that's how you got the myth and legend of it. Misunderstood bats over here. We have a flying fox, the largest of all the bats. Oh, look at these guys just taking a well-deserved nap. They probably ate a big meal. They look really stuffed to me. The skin of a giant green anaconda. Look at this. Still going. Look at that. The whole width of that. Look at the coloration, the iridescence of these morpho butterflies. You change the angle, they change the coloration. Look at that, so beautiful. We have a grizzly bear. Of course, grizzly bears in California have been extinct for quite some time. Ironically, that our state flag has it on there, but that's a man's doing, unfortunately. But here we got a Costa cactus. Let's check it out. This is a pretty cool exhibit. You're going to talk about all the different areas of San Diego County. We got the canyons and streams, the mountain regions, the chaparral, the desert, and the coastal regions. Now this is actually one of the coolest things out here. We'll check this out in a second, but this Airstream little trailer that they got here, but in the back, it's a little storytelling that they have of like the desert at night, and they have kind of like a little like light show that goes on there. You can see some of the kids in the tent. It tells a cool story of some kids having a fun time out camping.
There's one! Mita! The black light does make them glow in the dark! Wow! I've heard that sound before. It sounds like the great horned owls I hear near our house.
They're night hunters too, just like all these animals. But it has 8 legs like a spider, 8 patas, and 2 feelers in the front.
Okay.
It's hairy.
Es peluda like a tarantula?
Kind of, but it's got a pincher thing on its mouth. Una pinza, kind of like a crab claw en la boca.
Una pinza de cangrejo on its face?
But not that big. Es una pinza pequeñita.
Whoa. Okay, part crab, part tarantula. Se llama sun spider, pero no es una spider. Weird.
I just love the dioramas that they have here at the museum. Give live examples, or I should say, not real live examples, but you know, a real 3D view of what these regions of our area look like. We got some quails right over there, some sort of ground squirrel, a bird up there, including a little burrowing badger. Now we're talking more of the forest and mountain regions of San Diego. Here is a granary tree. Acorn woodpeckers rely on the tree trunks for storing acorns throughout the year. So this tree had a bunch of woodpeckers hit on it. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Knock all those holes out. Wide variety of taxidermy animals here. Got a deer on that side, some squirrels, various birds. There's some woodpeckers right there. Fun fact about woodpeckers, to protect their head, their tongue actually wraps around through obviously their beak. It actually wraps around to the back of their skull. It acts like a cushion for all the time it impacts itself against the wood of a tree. A large whale skull here. This looks like a humpback or a gray whale. Let's see. A gray whale, I was correct. Rather large skull too. I find an example of a Sonoran pronghorn. Look at those curved antlers. It's one of those devices, I forget what they're called, like movie tropes or something, but they show the movement of bats. So let's see if I can show you real quick. Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, look at that. Pretty cool. It shows the motion of bat wings flapping. This is pretty cool. It shows a nice marshland setting here in San Diego. Wonderful marshland water areas are going to be near the Living Coast Discovery Center, the Tijuana Estuary. Wonderful places to catch nature. Looks like we got a little fox right there catching over a blue heron. We got egrets, seagulls. Oof, we're being hunted by that egret. Or is that a heron? Oh, that's a heron. Oh, I see. He's trying to hunt this crab that's right there. Oh, and a mud skipper. Some sort of tube worm as well. There's a clam, mollusk, some snails. Whatever that thing looks like from Alien, looks like one of the facehuggers. So examples of the coastal woody regions here. This is an example of Torrey Pines State Natural Reserve. Oh yeah, there's the Torrey Pines right up there as well. Falcons over there, looks like a red-tailed hawk over there. A bobcat. Oh, we got some living exhibits here. Let's see. Another rosy boa. A common king snake. A stink beetle. Oh yeah, those guys definitely do stink. So it looks like this is a back canyon of somewhere in San Diego. You can see there's a whole advance of nature behind those houses. So you got, oh, there's a bat feeding off a hummingbird feeder. Cats, which ironically enough, cats are actually probably the most hostile and disruptors of nature, believe it or not, because there have been populations of creatures that have almost gone to the point of extinction because of cats, feral cats that are loose. So ironically enough, the animal that we probably love the most, second to dogs, is one of the biggest causes of disruption of nature for populations of, being decimated. Look at that, a black widow spider. Oh, you can barely make out the red on that one. But this girl is facing, we're on the other side. So let's go on the other side and see the indistinguishable red bow tie. Oh, that bow tie is not very prominent. Let's flash a little light on it. Oh, there it is. You can see it. So this is pretty cool. So that's a sunburst diving beetle. One of the reasons why it's pretty cool, I want to show you that, is because they actually breathe through their butt when they're swimming. They carry a little bubble. You can kind of see it right there at the backside. That is essentially like their scuba tank on the back. So as long as they have air on that bubble in their butt, they can stay down and then eventually come back up to refill that air bubble. And this American bullfrog, look at the size of that boy. He's a chunky little fellow and he's just out and about without a care in the world, just enjoying himself. And being here in San Diego, if you know about this region, we are susceptible to fires. We are built in a desert area, and actually, you mentioned right here, a habitat that was naturally adapted to burn every 30 years or so, but due to man's intervention and global warming, it's happening more frequently. Fires, ironically enough, are actually needed to keep a safe and level nature. You know, essentially fire is a way to create regrowth. So, you know, all these animals, yes, their lives are in danger, but nature has created a way to adapt themselves. They put themselves in burrows, they hide themselves deep underneath fires. They can live there for quite a while, let the fire pass through. Animals such as pollinators, they will create new life by dropping berries and pollen and seeds and whatnot throughout the region to create regrowth. So, as a very wise man once said,
that life finds a way.
down to the first floor and check it out over here. Oh, there's Allosaurus. This guy, I've been with this guy for a long time. We also got down here the Alex and Elizabeth Wise Museum Store and the Flying Squirrel Cafe is back over there to grab some quick bite items. We'll check that out a little bit later. Also, this is the super giant screen experience theater. Movies are included with your admission, which is pretty cool. Sometimes they're 3D, sometimes they're just regular productions. Right now we got Ocean Oasis, which is a production that's actually presented by the museum. This was a project that was done in conjunction with Baja California, and it shows about the natural marine life within San Diego, California, Baja area. This is a wonderful film. I think it's also available on YouTube for you to check it out. You got Fun Guy, The Web of Life, and Shark Kingdom. We may check this one out a little bit later. So something that's interesting about this particular statue is that this California red-legged frog is made with over 120 pounds of non-recyclable trash. You can even see how some of the trash was utilized here to show, you know, the collection of it. It was actually collected here at the museum and then turned over so that they could build this art piece. That's amazing. I like that. Down here on the first floor, there's really only two specific exhibits here. You got the living lab over here, which has a collection of live animals. And in the backyard, we're just going to briefly show this. This is going to be a little play area for the littlest of nature lovers. This space is intended for children 5 years old and younger with adult supervision. And you can see how it's just a nice little play area for kids. It looks like you're in your backyard. That's pretty cool. I like that. And there's lots of books and toys and games and little spotty games. Like you can try to find the crows and little animals that are hidden throughout this whole area. A little section for my favorite of all insects, bees. These cubbies are actually for the educational groups that come here to the museum. But look at the pictures up there on the wall of some close-ups of my favorite insect, bees. And here's a collection of some bees from the museum. Well, let's go check out the living lab. Like I said, there's going to be a collection of animals that are currently on display in aquariums and terrariums. There's also a living lab aspect to it where you're going to see some of the people who work here prepare food for the residents here of this exhibit. So first off, we have a Gila monster. Oh, yep, look at that. There's the Gila monster. Oh, look at this. Looks like a snake. What type of snake is this one? Oh, it's a rattlesnake of sorts. He is going up. I'm probably getting closer to a heat source if I had to guess. He's quite active. Very nice. A speckled rattlesnake hiding. Oh, there he is. See, look at that. The camouflage of that guy. He blends in very well with the sand. A little rat snake right here, a little Baja California rat snake. This is one of the coolest things I can think of. So this actually right now is a greater hornbill. So you would be wondering, what's it doing here? So what happens is there's actually beetles called hide beetles in there. What they're doing is that they're literally stripping away and eating away at the flesh. You can see some of them right on there. This actually is very scientific. Their laboratories, museums, research societies use this. They actually use these beetles to strip away the flesh better than we can do it. And it's natural because literally they just have plenty of food, they reproduce, their larvae grow, and keep eating and eating until the flesh is completely gone from these bones. And I'm talking about the skin, the feathers, the tendons. Pretty much they leave literally nice, clean bones that scientists can then take and use and put them on display. There's one, a giant hairy scorpion. One of the best things I always love about scorpions is the fact that they are bioluminescent at night. If you put an UV light on them, go out in the desert, see what flashes. Well, that's going to do it for the first two levels, 1 and 2. So let's go up to 3 and 4th, obviously, after that. So there are stairs that go through level 1 through technically through the lower level all the way up to level 4. But of course, there's also elevators. So let's take that real quick. Well, look at this. This is something I knew about this, that the Natural History Society is celebrating their 150th anniversary, their birthday. So you can celebrate with them. For your birthday month, just bring them proof of your birthday and you get a one-time free admission to the museum. That is pretty cool. So definitely take advantage of this one while you're doing this promotion. So here is level 3. Wow, so actually, believe it or not, they cut skulls in half. Skulls used to wrap around the entirety of this floor. So it looks like it's just relegated to just this half of the floor. But that's okay, we'll still make the best of it. Over there is a demonstration lab. Sometimes there are employees or volunteers that are actually working on fossil specimens. Sometimes they're cleaning them and chipping away at them to get them ready for preparation or cataloging. Also, that is where the research facility is. Those where the departments are, like paleontology and botany and whatnot, are actually behind those doors, which of course you have to be an employee for. Skulls of some of the smaller creatures. Lots of lizards, lots of frogs, lots of snakes, lots of reptiles here. A humpback whale fetus. You can even see its umbilical still attached to it. Here we have some skulls of some larger mammals. A badger up at there. What's this one? That's a 3 is a wolf. Number 5, that looks like a Dinosaurs. Let's see. Yep, African lion. I was right. Number 6 is a brown bear. And then we have a coyote and a mountain lion skull. These are very ornate. Number 9, the rhinoceros hornbill. You can always tell because its hornbill poops up a little bit. Number 4 right there is a hyacinth macaw. 5 looks like an ostrich. Let's see. Yep, that is an ostrich. Oh, is that a, yes it is. That's a southern cassowary. Oh, what's that guy? That looks like an alligator. Let's see. Yep, alligator snapping turtle. The large one right there in the upper corner. Down here, some of these smaller ones. Let's see. Chicken turtle. What the heck? A chicken turtle? What the heck is a chicken turtle? Number 3 is a regal horned lizard. I can see how the regal came from it. It just looks like a crown on top of it. Here is an ancient whale skull. Now, this is an artist's rendition of what they potentially think it could look like. And look at the modified teeth on the back. That is, you definitely don't want to mess with those. Look at the serration on them. They'll tear through flesh really easily. Probably most likely used to cut through large mollusks. Here we have some sort of squid as its prey. And baleen. A lot of whales are baleen feeders. They filter the water through these baleens, and the baleens are like fibrous hairs that act like a filter and catch all the little microorganisms for them to eat. Unfortunately, we can't go to the other side because there's construction, but you can see there is someone with part of paleontology, and you can see that they are doing something with a fossil inside of a cast. You can see how there's a plaster cast underneath it, where it's actually, when they take it, before they take it out of the dirt, they actually put plaster over the specimen, because then they can transport it safely. It acts like a cushion base. Well, let us go into the collections gallery. Like I said, this is going to be a collection of old books, artwork, a kind of like a naturalist library. Oh, and here actually you can see the top of the Foucault pendulum as it's going. It attaches all the way to the very, very top of the museum. Let's take a look at the bottom view. A little hard to see from here. So here's a book from 1799. Look at the beautiful illustrations on it. Let's see, this one's from 1734, The Cabinet of Natural Curiosities, and there's some sort of sketchings of a octopus or squid or some sort of octopus, I can tell. Let's see, how many tentacles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tentacles. This one from 1833, Fauna Japonica, Animals of Japan. Well, I would definitely say this is definitely a prized possession here of this collection. The Birds of America by John James Audubon from 1858. Look at how large, I mean, look at that. I'm going to step back a little bit. Look at how large this book is. It's crazy. And the amazing artwork that's in it. Here's one page of it. These are some sort of, what are these? Carolina parrots. The colors on them, my goodness. This book is almost 200 years old, and look how wonderful condition it is. You can see the binding on it very well. Oh my goodness, it's a beautiful piece. Oh, a special mention here of Kate Sessions, the grandmother of Balboa Park. She was a citizen scientist, but she was involved with heavily involved with the creation of Balboa Park the way we know it. She planted a lot of trees. She involved, keeping Balboa as natural as possible. And so that's why there's actually a statue of her. There's a picture of it right there near actually here to the museum. And she's always been affectionately called the grandmother of Balboa Park. Here's a good little bird's eye view of a addition that's going to be coming pretty soon to the museum. Just outside of the north entrance, they're going to be creating a nature path walkway. So you can see a lot of construction going on. They're adding some trees. They're going to put some elements like water elements, and it's just going to be a wonderful natural walk through this little area. So looking forward to that. And then actually, let's go a little bit further, because now you have the Moreton Bay fig tree. One of the largest trees. This tree is actually, I believe, from day one of Balboa Park. So I'm going to say it's probably about 120 to 30 years old. The roots are amazing. You used to be able to go up to the tree itself, but then in recent years, they put this fencing around it to protect people as well as the tree, because there was damage happening to the tree. But look at the massive size of that tree. So now we are up on the 4th floor. Let's see here. Wonderful example of gems here. Look at this, or crystals and minerals. It's just amazing what nature can come up with. Very beautiful. Hey, it's my birthstone. So caught on camera. So the photos we're about to see are things that are caught like on trap cameras like this. Here's some examples. Looks like we got a coyote here. A raccoon, there's a white egret, another coyote. The worst animal of all kind, human. Oh, this is pretty cool. They took some of the pictures that they did and made a collage out of it. See, look at that. Like, go up close and you're going to see lots of different photos that make up the dark and the light and the white. And then you go back and you got that cool image. Oh, here's some beautiful pictures right there. Here's a bobcat. A coyote, unfortunately, in the front yard of somebody's house. Always have to be careful about your pets, guys. Bring them in at night. Don't let them out.
Unless it was what we just saw.
And here's a mountain lion or a puma. Interchangeable terms, trust me. And some bats. Looks like they're just getting a little drink of water. There you go. We just missed it, but there was a quail that just walked by. There they are. Oh, there's the little quails. All the baby quails. There's it is. Expedition Baja. Very southwest Baja California. You got a frog, a scorpion, two birds in the middle. I can't tell exactly what they are. A large amount of camping items, things you would need for your expeditions. Of course, some shoes. The most important one of all, some TP. The San Quentin kangaroo rat was thought to be extinct until our scientists rediscovered it in 2017 using a Sherman trap. So it's a live trap, so you don't have to worry about the animals being killed. But look at that, because of scientists' efforts, we were able to rediscover a lost animal. There's a Guadalupe caracara. Oh, how do you pronounce it? Guadalupe caracara. Carara. Interesting. Saving the California red-legged frog. Now, those are definitely not its eggs, but examples of how they were able to catch brood of eggs and save them so that they can incubate them, and then once they release the tadpoles back out into the wild, hopefully increase their chances of survival. And see, scientists are always discovering new creatures. In 2013, they explored the Cacachilas Mountains, a region near La Paz, and found the Cacachilas wandering spider, a new species. And of course, fans of the channel will know that no journey is complete without a visit to the gift shop. So let's check out what the museum has. So first off, the cafe is inside the store. It looks like they have coffee beverages. Looks like they do mochas and espressos and lattes of various flavors. They do have some quick grab items, snacks. I can see a fridge over there. And they do have some quick service grab items here. Some sandwiches, prepackaged salads, Uncrustables, Danishes. Oh, that's unfortunate. They used to be like a hot food item place, and not anymore, it looks like. And some other beverages, some soft drinks for you here. Some candies. I see some, ooh, what are these? Oh, honey with lavender and rose inside of them. That sounds good. This actually sounds really good. These ones right here. But let's see here. Oh, this is a pretty cool shirt. I like this. It's got the San Diego Natural History Museum, kind of modernized geometric patterning of it. There's owl on top, the mastodons, the south entrance of the museum. This one goes for $25 for the shirt. That's a pretty nifty water bottle. Looks like they got a blue, a white, and a black version. The water bottle goes for $19.99. Oh, looks like they got some tees, some loose leaf tees as well. Lots of books. Oh, they even have a tote bag with the same image on the front. The tote bag goes for $23.50. Here for nature. Yes, indeed. I'm always here for nature. The hat goes for $25. A large variety of books here, both kids and adult books. Stuffed animals, of course. Ooh, look at this, a manatee. Look at this. Oh, look! Oh, he's giving the blip, a little tongue blip. This one goes for, let's see, no price tag. Okay, so he's free. A little baby ankylosaur. Look at this. Kind of looks like he's got like curlers in his hair. Look at that. It's kind of cute. Actually, it kind of reminds me of like the, what is it, the little outside of the viruses, you know, how they attach onto cells? I forget what those are called. Yeah, don't know what the price of the stuffed animal is. None of them are marked. Oh, $13. That one's marked for $13. They even got a little kid's version in the blue shirt. And a fuzzy fossil woolly mammoth skull for $14.75. Well, that's going to do it for today's journey here at the San Diego Natural History Museum. I had an absolutely wonderful time. It was fun walking through memory lane again. But more importantly, I hope you had a great time watching this video. If you did, do me a huge favor, give it a big thumbs up for me. Like the video. Second, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And third, hit the notification bell because you don't want to miss a single journey. I do a lot of museum content, theme park content around Southern California, specifically San Diego, but throughout Southern California. You don't want to miss a single one of them. Also, make sure to follow me on social media at BigRedJourneys on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram for even more content. Also, feel free to leave a comment, drop me a line. I'm more than happy to answer any and all questions you may have about this journey as well as other journeys, and let me know what you would like to see come on the channel as well. So from me to you, thank you, and then I'll see you on the next journey. Bye-bye now.